Hello and welcome to the Modcast. I'm Wokey and I'm here with Zenrot,
Hello.
Penta,
Hey.
Aminal,
Hello.
and special guest Rhymestyle.
Hey!
And now I'll take it to the host. Go ahead and take it, Zenrot.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Jesus, I just had a giant fucking ad play on a website and I thought it was playing through the call. It was
Unlucky.
really confusing.
I get the intro in one go, and you get an ad.
I'm sorry. Anyway,
Always something with Dokkan mods. Always something.
always something.
That's a sad truth.
Anyway, so let's get into just some interview questions first, because I know people with a special guest are gonna want to hear from the guest more than from us, because we're
Yeah,
not
we
just
should.
Who's the special guest? I'm just another Dokkan player.
Yeah,
just a guy.
You got this weird guy named Rhymestyle. Who is? Come on, speak up. Who is he? Who is he? Where is this guy?
Alright, so let's go. We literally only have 5, so not that many questions, but if anyone thinks of anything else, jump in. So for the first one is just, when did you start playing?
Oh God. I want to say back around November. Yeah.
Last year?
Yeah, of last year. I'm still kind of a baby compared to a lot of people. It was actually Living Ichigo. No. It was Living Ichigo who originally was trying to get me to play, but I didn't want to play. And then one of my buddies, Jadentastic, started playing it, and I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. And now here I am spending money on a weekly basis on this.
Oh, you poor bastard.
It was a
Yeah.
Ponzi scheme all along.
Yeah. I got drawn into it. Matter of fact, I just bought stones, so I'm going to be doing summons inside this podcast. So if I freak out, it's because I got something nice.
Okay, well, good luck.
That gives an air of suspense now. Will he get
Yeah,
it?
now people have to wait for the inevitable freak out or horrible disappointment, one of the two.
It's going to be one or the two. And I'm doing the first one now, and we got nothing. Great. Okay.
Oh, it gives me life when I hear those words.
Oh, God. It's Nappa.
It's
The rare
Nappa.
Nappa.
Which one
Come
is
on.
it? Does it have the over 9,000 link? Is it one of those Nappas?
No.
It's worthless then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could have linked it with Champa if it was. For some reason, he has that.
I was just about to
I don't know
bring that
why.
up.
I saw that, and I don't know why.
It's
Nobody
because
knows why.
it's the translation. Over in Japan, it means something completely different, but because only Nappa and Vegeta had it when it came to global, they instantly made it over 9,000 just to get in on the fucking joke.
Yeah,
Is that
but
what
the
it
problem
is?
is that in Japan, Vegeta and Nappa are still the only other ones that have it.
No, they just randomly gave it to Champa, and
Yeah,
it's
in
like,
Japan, it's like overwhelming combat power, right?
yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, except they still didn't give it to anyone else, so it's still just Vegeta, Nappa, and Champa.
Translation errors have always plagued the Dragon Ball community. Because, I mean, the funny thing is back in the day. Oh, look, Tech Beerus. Back in the
Hey.
day, the taboo was anything God and demon related, and it took those to completely change everything around. But then Battle of Gods came out, in recent years, and it's like, oh, well, there's nothing we can do to not add a religious factor to this, so they just kept this God of destruction. Well, they call it Beerus the Destroyer at first, but then they're like, screw it, we can't, we can't go around this.
Oh, well, speaking of translation errors, those glorious few weeks where Beerus was called Bills the Destroyer.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah.
That was
Well, to be fair, because his name was like it's just how it was unofficially translated. That's what that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still kind of pains me when I see people refer to him as Bills. Like, dude, Bill sounds like a dude that works at like an accounting firm or something. Like, hi, I'm Bill. Like, come on.
Hello, I'm Bill. I'll be destroying Earth today.
That's how Bill Gates always introduces himself.
Okay, that's enough fucking off track. Question 2, what is it?
Alright, question 2. Let's see. What goes into your thought process when trying to build a team for an event?
Oh God. My thought process. Well, I'm trying to see what the most overpowered cards I have in this situation right now. I just got Super Vegito. The video's gonna go up today. So now that's my go-to team. But at the same time, I'm still kind of like trying to figure out what the right team is, because I can't beat Kaioken Blue Goku with an agility mono team. I can't. So last night I tried running half and half. I did half agility and half Gotenks, because I had a Gotenks on my friend list that popped up. So I did 3 techs, 3 blues. I still got destroyed. I need help. I need help.
You're playing Dokkan. You need help.
Yeah, usually what I just do is I have like a DM thread on Twitter with a couple of friends. We talk about Hunter x Hunter Battle All Stars and Dokkan, and we just go back and forth there. D Free is one of my good friends. He's probably made most of my teams in this game. He gets the credit for that.
I'm sure he'll enjoy that shout out.
I'm sure he'll enjoy all the fact he's made teams for you, and you still can't beat Kaioken Goku.
I can't beat Kaioken Goku. I don't know if I'm just doing it wrong or like. Have you guys fought him yet?
Oh yeah, I'm already done with him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm done.
I got the picked up.
What's the team that you used?
I used Super Vegito, Super Saiyan GT Trunks, Super Saiyan Goten, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and Mystic Gohan.
I have like all those cards. So what are you doing that's different? What am I doing wrong?
What items are you bringing?
Sensu Bean, Dende, Ghost Usher, and Yama.
Switch out Yama for Baba, so that you can, because Baba is going to be more mitigation anyway when you can set up a big turn with Super Vegito. Because if you can guarantee that he can't super, and you can get him to block like 3 or 4 attacks, it's going to be a huge turn.
Yeah, that's the main thing, because Vegito can't block supers, so fucking you put him in, you're like, oh my god, I'm invincible, I have Super Vegito, then you get blown off the face of the earth.
Well, the first time I did it, I actually used physical Gotenks because I have him too, and he's always my go-to person that I can always pull off his supers too. But I still
even with supers.
win.
So not to make you feel bad, but this is the only time I've done this event, and I've done it for a video that will hopefully go up before this goes up. But this was my team: 2 Super Vegetos, an SA-10 Super Saiyan God Goku, Ninja Murasaki, Frost Form 1, Frost Form 3, and Final Form Frost.
I have
you
all
win?
those Frost. Actually, I might run that. I might run that team because D Free was talking about that team too. You running the Frosts. And I keep pulling them. Keep pulling them.
So it's not an easy fight because unfortunately Frost's attack going down is not as big as a help as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But if you can outpower him with Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Vegito, and then on the right terms seal the super with Murasaki. Here's the funny thing is that the Frost actually share the Link Coward, so he only needs 5 ki instead of the usual 6. So you have to just get super lucky with the steals and then hope that you just tank it all. And he'll go down pretty quick. But yeah, that's the main thing about that. You gotta seal up his super because the second he supers, it's basically dead.
That's World Tournament all over again.
Yeah.
Also, surprise, surprise! I just pulled Guldo. Great.
The sad train continues.
Yeah, this is it's been a letdown so far.
You're around Zenrot. He's absorbing all your luck. This is how his black magic works.
You know, I bought stones yesterday, just now, and another time yesterday. So twice yesterday. So I bought 3 packs of stones in the last 48 hours, and I have not gotten a single card. Like, I've just been getting, like, crap. And, yeah, it is possible YouTubers to have bad luck. It is possible.
You are human. Would you look at that?
Oh, my gosh. I'm just getting rares right now. I've got, like, 1 SR, and it was that SR Whis.
At least Whis is a good one.
It's better than in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is, too.
Oh, God.
It actually is.
Almost as good as this next question. And what would it be?
Let's see. What are your thoughts on the current pace of the global version versus the current pace of the Japanese version?
Oh god, that's funny you asked me that. I can't stand it. It's funny. I was completely on global Dokkan for that exact reason because of how far ahead Japan was, and I knew the second I hopped onto the Japanese version of the game, I would just get pretty pissed, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Like, I mean, I know. So what we got right now? We have the Ultimate Gohan event right now. Apparently, Majin Vegeta is coming out next week. But at the rate that Japan is releasing stuff for their version of the game, it will never catch up ever. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, it makes me not want to play global anymore. Put it that way.
It sucks, but is it? I just think that Japan's being really goddamn heavy-handed with their content right now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
You should enjoy the big weights, really.
Like, right now it's kind of a drought, but it's good pacing. We're gonna get Baba Shop in a few days, then we're gonna get more stuff after that. It's gonna be good. And eventually, we're gonna go through like crazy pacing that Japan's going through right now. It's just
Right.
that Japan right now has decided to upend the entire game's meta in the span of 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. Try 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, of course. As soon as Vegito came out, the entire game changed.
Yeah.
But now everything has changed. Literally everything. Vegito was just like the best total package character and replaced Gogeta with saying, now I am the best lead in the game. But now, like, Gotenks, I can't remember who the other leader is. Just
Brolo,
everything.
who came out
Broly.
with Vegito.
Everything has changed now. There's not a single part of Dokkan that's the same as it was 3 months ago. When it comes
Yeah.
to team building.
I made a tweet yesterday. Oh my god, I got hit! I got hit! Oh god, okay, I'm good. Sorry, what? I don't think you understand. I've been wanting Hit really, really badly because I love his character. And I got it. Oh god.
That's your boy.
Yeah.
So that pace.
Could somebody please explain to me what Hit's passive is and his leader? Well, no, I know what his leader ability is. What is his,
Terrible.
what's his
They're
passive?
just terrible.
Oh, it's whenever he hits people, he has a chance to stun.
Okay.
It's the same as Demigra, where he has a chance to do it on a normal attack and a chance to do it on a super attack.
Oh well, then I'm gonna replace Demigra with Hit then.
Wait,
what?
yeah, if you need,
Why
if
is
you need a
Demigra
pure
better?
stunner, you might as well. Well, Demigra, he's a better overall character because of key and links and whatnot.
They
Oh,
gave
okay.
him strongest duo on Earth.
I throw Demigra into my team only for stuns, and he links with nobody. So
But
would
yeah,
that
just
make
use hit instead.
okay? So yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm good.
Calm down. We're good. We're good.
Oh god.
See what happens? You praise Japanese Dokkan, and
Oh.
they give you what you want.
Right, and I literally just said how us YouTubers, we don't always get good pulls. We go through droughts too. But what I was gonna say is last night I made a tweet that said how fast the game is changing. Like they just introduced Great Apes a couple weeks ago, or not a couple weeks ago, more a couple months ago, recently, and already they're kind of relevant. And then like they have Beerus' Fury mode, which is like it was a cool gimmick, and now it's like irrelevant. So it's like, what's going to be next? Like after they are done with these mono god cards, what's next?
Everyone gets an AoE.
Oh,
Yeah.
All supers are AoEs now.
Cyberman
Yeah, but-
AoE.
Like Zenrot mentioned, like Zenrot was talking about how we're gonna talk about this later, but like we've already gone through a single Dokkan Fest rotation, and it ended with Gogeta, which is the Rainbow lead. So they've already shown their hands of how Dokkan Fest rotations work. So there's nothing to look forward to now. It's like, yeah, you got your character, Super Vegito, Broly, yeah. Eventually, there's gonna be a Rainbow lead, and you can just go fuck yourself.
I'm not super worried about a rainbow lead yet because this is the third Dokkan Fest exclusive leader skill, and we don't even have a rainbow lead for the second one. So unless they've completely abandoned the second one just straight out and they're never going to touch it again, it'll be a good amount of time before we end up with a rainbow lead.
Hopefully.
Let's,
Hopefully.
let's enjoy the current meta as it is, which is using just a bunch of weird units. But
Yeah,
usually a
just
monster.
The only thing
smack-
that bugs me the most, and I'm sure you guys will agree, is the fact that Sans are so overpowered. And while I can't say everything I talked about, one of the things I did bring up when I met with the producers in the past is how the Sans all link up with each other, but the villains are just kind of there to just kind of circle jerk with each other and not get any real amazing links. So I'm hoping that changes more than anything right now. Like I want new cards, I want new god cards, stuff like that, but I want them to actually work on fixing or upgrading the villain so they're actually kind of useful.
Yeah, one thing we need is a universal villain link that actually gives attack, or like
Yeah.
a golden warrior for villains. That's all we need.
Yeah, well, they tried making one, but then
Yeah,
they stopped
okay.
giving it to people.
Yeah,
they just
that's
Their own
stopped
faith
passing
have
it out.
potential.
And Nightmare, that was a thing, but it's spatterings. It's like it's the beginning of Ready for War. Back in the day, that was on like 5 units. Then they gave it to everyone. They need to do that. Just give it to everyone.
Yeah, like there's good units with Nightmare and with like Fear and Despair or whatever. There's good cards have that, but then they just don't give it to enough people to bother using it. Now it's just, oh, that's lucky. These two that are good happen to have it together.
I hope they do something where they give a rebirth to my tech Final Form Frieza, because after Full Power came out and he did not get any sort of upgrade, I'm just staring at him sadly.
The
They
Golden
probably
Frieza
won't.
curse.
Yeah, it's the
Hip-
golden crucifers.
Because he
Next question.
Dokkan then.
Let's see. Alright, as someone who focuses on entertaining as well, does your view on content differ from a regular player? Do you prefer a different pace so that you have more stuff to work with? Do you still like it slow like most players do so that you can actually finish content?
Do you mean like in terms of how much content they're releasing?
Yeah, like do you prefer a faster pace so that you can focus on releasing more and
No.
more
Oh,
stuff?
God,
Or do you
no.
prefer a player-based pace?
I want them to actually slow down, if anything. I mean, the main reason why I want to slow down is because it's expensive. But like, I wouldn't mind if they do like one event a week. I can keep up with that. But like right now, since I'm playing both the Japanese and global version, Japan got hit with 2 events this past in the same week essentially, and then all of a sudden, global has Gohan, so it's like I have to figure out how to put out content without doing too much. Because one thing I don't want to do is go as crazy as I did with the Gogeta event. Because what happened was with Gogeta is obviously if you have discount stones, you can't say no to those. So I bought all those stones, and I realized, oh god, this is so many stones, and I have to figure out how to not make a billion videos, but at the same time I want Gogeta. And next thing I know, I made 12 summon videos that I originally planned on doing like once a day, but then I just ended up doing like 2 summons per day for like a week straight, which ended up being too much content. So it's kind of tough. But with me, what I do different than most YouTubers is I don't try to rush to put out the new banner or a new event or any of that. So for me, I guess it's just a matter of like whenever I get to that event. And in a situation like today and right now and this week, there's still a lot that I still have yet to do, and I may or may not do some of those things.
All right, fair enough.
It does make sense though, because when you bought all those stones, there was one YouTuber who bought 1,000 stones from Gogeta first popped on Global, Afro Senju.
After,
Yeah, he popped all of them in one, and he got Gogeta on the 3rd pull, and then the rest of the video was just sadness.
Yeah. Afro's a good friend of mine. I watched that video and I was kind of salty. It's funny because I gave up. I gave up doing my Gogeta summons. I had only recorded 10 videos, and I watched his video and I was like, I can give it another shot, and I pulled Gogeta off a single summon after that. So I gotta thank him for pulling Gogeta on my global account.
Oh, it's the salt that gives you power.
It's always the salt. I mean, I think like the salt is both a gift and a curse, because the main reason why I bought stones just now is because in our thread that Zenrot and I are in, somebody pulled hit, and I was like, well, it'd be kind of cool if I buy some stones, which I said I wasn't going to do anymore. But I'll buy some stones and I do it like on this podcast. So if I do pull something cool, you can kind of get that reaction. And because I was salty they pulled hit, I pulled hit on this podcast. Yeah.
It's flawless. You get angry, good things happen.
Yeah.
Not for me.
You don't matter.
Over
If
2,000
that
stones.
worked for me, if that worked for me, I would be swimming in SSRs. It doesn't work.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm usually the one that cleans up, all the submitted posts on the front page of the subreddit. So I spend the vast majority of my time being salty at other people's polls, and it never helps for me.
You inherited that job from me, you poor soul.
Yeah, I just go in and I pull. I drop 200 stones and I get shit and I'm all sad. And then the first 9 posts are like, wow, first multi, I got every SSR in the banner. And it's like, great.
Yeah, and as a YouTuber who I reach a lot of people, so I get a lot of those back. Like on a daily, I'll get Twitter pictures, comments are like, yeah, I pulled so and so in one summon. I'm like, god damn it. Here I am, just just putting buckets of money into this game and not getting what I want. But hey, it's part of the journey. I mean, thing is about Dokkan, you have to know what to expect. Like, there's a lot of newer players who are more on the entitled side, where they'll go into the game like expecting to get Gogeta, expecting to get Vegito, and when they don't, it's like, oh, this game sucks, this game is trash, this game is stupid. Well, it's like we all went through that.
Yep.
Like, I remember after I spent close to 1,000 stones on Gogeta, there were a few people who were like, I spent 80 and I didn't get them. This is stupid. You shouldn't get them because you spent 1,000. I was like, well, it's all luck based. I mean, there's some people who spent 5 and got them. There's some people who spent 2,000 and didn't get them. Like that's part of the journey, and you have to understand that. If you go into Dokkan expecting like every single time you farm 5 stones you'll get that SSR, it's not the game for you. I mean,
God. Yeah. If you go into gacha games expecting that, then mobile games are not for you.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, gacha games might not be the highest of quality, but they're still fun as hell. And it's just the idea of just doing these summons and opening the packs and getting that card, like that feel is just amazing. And I think that's probably the best part about these games. I mean, I'm right now I'm stuck playing Hunter x Hunter and Dokkan. I had 4. I played a little bit of Bleach and I played a little One Piece Treasure Cruise, but I had to stop myself because, like I said, it's expensive. But ultimately, it's you have to understand what you get with these games, and if you don't understand that, you're gonna have a bad time.
I got addicted to that feeling of just like you crack open the pack and you go through, you get a blue eyes. That's what got me.
Yeah,
I got hooked on that.
With me, it was Pokemon, and I'll still never forget the one day when both me and my friend, this is like in 4th grade, me and my friend, we had just gotten like good grades in our tests or whatever, and my mom took us to Target, and she was like, you know what, you guys were nice, go pick out 2 Pokemon packs. I picked out 2, right? I grabbed him one, and I grabbed the other one for myself. So I gave him the winning one, because when he opened that one, it was a Blastoise, and I was so pissed because when I opened mine, it was a Venusaur. In fact, this is how it happened. I opened mine first. I was like, oh my god, I got a Venusaur! And it's like, who cares about Venusaur? Bulbasaur is like the least favorite of the 3. But like it's still like the 3rd evolution for a starter, which is still exciting. And then he opens his that I gave him, and it was a blast. I was like, oh cool. Well, I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
Yeah, I'll be over here wearing my dunce cap.
Yeah, right. I gave you the winning lottery ticket.
Rip the card in half. Give me half. Come on, do it. I want half of that pack.
Only thing that would have been better is that there was a 3rd kid who also suddenly, after your friend pulled Blastoise, got a Charizard.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
The 3
These gacha games go way back though, and like the thing that a lot of people don't understand though is like those who didn't grow up under that era. Well, not those who didn't grow up under that era, because everybody grew up under that era. But like a lot of people don't connect Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic and whatever card game you had with nobody connects it with these gacha games, because it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing, except for the fact that it's all digital and it's more on a game basis as opposed to getting actual cards. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing, and it's like people complain about how expensive it is. Like how much money do you think your parents spent on your Pokemon cards? Like it is expensive. Yeah, it's part of the game.
I play MTG. Don't talk to me about costs.
Oh God.
Don't please.
I know about your pain. I mean, I never got into Magic, but I did grow up under Yu-Gi-Oh, and I had friends who played Magic, and I watched. I was like, wow.
You watched as we got money, and
I watched.
God itself took it from our hands.
I understood it. I didn't judge it. I completely understood it. But that hurt me. But then again, at the same time, here I am, a couple years later, playing Dokkan, spending probably even more. So I get it.
Enough sadness. Next question.
That was actually it. So we can move on to the game. Unless anyone else has anything else they're dying to know.
I just have one question, because I always have to ask this to YouTubers. How do you enjoy YouTubing? How do you enjoy making videos? Is there a certain part to it that
I'm glad you actually asked this. I'm glad you asked this question. So you have to love it. You have to love every second of it, because I mean, as a YouTuber, you work every single day, and it sounds weird to say it's work, but it is work. I put out 2 videos a day. I haven't missed a day since 2014, January 2014. That's when I became full-time, quote-unquote. And I've done at least 2 videos a day since then, and it's a full day of work. Like, you wake up early. Like, I wake up around 9, 8-ish, get some coffee, get some food, and then I make videos. And usually by the time I'm done, it's roughly around 5 or 6. And you wouldn't think that, because the video is always like 10 minutes long. But like the entire process of exporting the video, recording it, rendering, everything, it takes a whole day. And I will say this, I like it better than a desk job, because I used to have this horrible, awful job that I'm not going to talk about. And that place drained me. Like, it killed my health. I didn't sleep. It was awful. And I feel like part of my grind for YouTube was inspired because I hated that job so much. So it's great, but you have to love it. And the reason I say you have to love it is because I know a lot of people who are in the higher ups who have like 1 million subs who hate the content they fell into because they did just because it was getting views. In my case, I've always been that Dragon Ball nerd in middle school and high school who just loved every single aspect of it. And the fact that I can make videos around Dragon Ball now, playing Xenoverse, playing Dokkan, talking about, the episodes is great. And I will never get tired of that. But there's people who will fall into it and they'll be like, well, it gets views, so I'm just going to do it because it gets views. But they end up hating it. And in a way, you're just killing yourself slowly over time. So it's important to have fun with it and love it. Otherwise, you are going to be just as miserable as you will be at a desk job.
Yeah, there's one rule I heard way back in the day, and I've pretty much heard it from loads of people, and it's get up. I can't remember who the hell coined this, but apparently it's get up to around 100k subs, and then just do what you want. Because if you stick with what you've done till then, you're going.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
It's yes and no. Because the problem with doing that is, if let's say, because I will say Dragon Ball is a cheat code, and it's a cheat code because there's a lot of YouTubers who get into the Dragon Ball community and they'll just do Dragon Ball just because it gets views, and then they'll switch over to new stuff and it does not work. I don't know what it is, but it just does not stick. And to those who think they can, let's say if I for some reason decide to stop doing Dragon Ball today, I have 357,000 subs. If I stop doing Dragon Ball today and let's say I became a No Man's Sky channel, it would not work. Videos, it wouldn't work.
You can't transfer over completely. That's the thing. You have to keep part of what your identity is. So you said, you're a Dragon Ball nerd. You have to keep that core part of your audience happy. But once you hit the 100k mark, at that point you can start branching because you've got that. You've got the people who are there for DB's ear, but you also have that people who are just like, man, Rhymestyle's kind of a cool guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just you have to know what to expect. With me, I know if I do something that's not related to Dragon Ball, it will do this many percentage of views less, or it'll reach this many people, or it'll do this. But it's all about branding. So the more you do it, the more it works. Like I remember when I started doing Hunter x Hunter videos, they were doing like 5,000 views a pop. Back when I had like still 300k subs, and now if I do a Hunter x Hunter video, it does 20,000 views. So it's just one of those things that you have to kind of build out and do nonstop and kind of like get people exposed to it before they accept it. Because like you can't just do a video tomorrow where I'm just sitting there farting on a toilet and expect it to get views. But if I keep doing it, it'll become a thing. So it's just part of those things which you have to kind of brand out, build up, and put a lot of time focus into. And then in the long term, it'll work, but not in the short term.
So you're telling us that's the next series we can look forward to?
Yeah, it's a little preview I gave you.
You heard it here first.
Just awakened my hit now. He's a UR now.
The journey.
The journey.
The journey of training items, as many as you possibly can.
Dude, I'm struggling right now on Japanese Dokkan because I have no training items. I'm like completely dried out, and it hurts me.
You didn't play the Roshi, like get a bunch of shell game?
No,
event?
I haven't done any of it. I've been mostly, since I crossed over to Japanese Dokkan, the only thing I've done is the main quest, which I completed last week. And outside of that, the only thing I've done is the boss events. I haven't done anything else yet. I still have a bunch of stuff to do, and I'm kind of getting there over time. But I need to do tournaments. I haven't done a single tournament in Japanese Dokkan.
I hear it's very different. I don't do global tournaments, but I hear that the pace is very different for a Japanese tournament, and it is.
What's the difference between both? Because isn't a Japanese tournament only like 3 days long?
It's about 3 days usually, yeah.
Okay.
And
you still have to get 80 wins. And yeah, the point totals are higher. So you jump up to needing about 26 wins a day to get to the 80 wins.
Okay.
And then, and I mean, there are some people, like, Penta, didn't you do all 80, like, the first day?
I gave up. I got to 65.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy did all 80 in 1 day.
27 hours, I think it was.
Good God.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, that's more dedication than I have.
Hey, at least I put strength Super Saiyan God. It was
That's
worth
true,
it.
you did get a good card.
That's always worth it. I was just
And
happy because when I did my tournament, this is the first time out of 8? Out of 8 tournaments, I only participated in 5 on global. Out of the 5 that I did, this is the first time where I actually got good stuff. Well, no, I take that back because I got Turles once, But outside of that, every tournament I've ever did summons in, I always get crap like the Tech Super Boo or the Evil Boo, Maju, and I always gave up on tournaments completely. But then this last one I was pretty decent. I got some pretty good pulls.
Yeah, the thing that usually
Tournament
brings
pulls never work for me.
Yeah. The only thing that brings
Go
me
ahead.
back is like Dragon Ball tickets, just because I love Dragon Ball so much. So even as dumb as it is, when they added Bacterian, I was actually strangely hype. So I went back to the World Tournament and I was like, I need to get this card I'm never gonna use. But man, I remember Bacterian, so I'm gonna go for him.
That's funny.
Alright, I think we can start going into some global stuff, unless someone has any last minute questions.
Nope. All right.
I guess that's a no.
Do you have any questions
Thank
for
you, everyone, for speaking up at once. All right, so let's talk about the Mystic Gohan event and the Mystic Gohan glitch that is out right now. That basically means that anyone who didn't have the cards beforehand now gets one free Dokkan Fest.
I'm
For anyone who doesn't
surprised.
know, what that is his defensive ability that is limited only to characters with that wall looming, or what is it in global?
It's actually it's limited to just basically Majins, because people who have wall looming like Bojack, they don't get the bonus.
Really, I thought that was what it was for.
No, I used Bojack in my team because I was like, finally a reason to use my Bojack, and he hit for nothing.
Oh,
So
so I guess it's just Boo then.
yeah. There's a new link, but only the boos actually do anything.
Well, in global, everyone does everything because he has no defensive buff in global version.
Well, now you can use Bojack. Congratulations.
Yeah, now if you're dying for a reason to use Bojack, you've got it. Congratulations. But yeah, that, and then they put out a news announcement saying that they weren't even going to fix it this time.
That's the surprising part to me. Because, okay, look, after working at a tech company, I understand that sometimes when you release a bug, it takes like days to fix it. But like, how complex of an issue does it have to not fix that one part that requires you to do it next time around?
Well, I think part of it is they don't want to fix it in the middle and say anyone that wasn't lucky enough to farm it first is out of luck.
Yeah, but they caught it immediately. Well, they didn't catch that immediately. They caught there was another bug, like a template bug that happened right after the event happened, and then they took the game to emergency maintenance literally like an hour into it, which they could have addressed it then. So I don't know if they were just like, fuck it, it's the middle of the night, let's just not worry about this, or if they were just like, you know what, let's just do it next time.
That's possible. I know with the Kaba glitch in the Japanese version, they did patch it out, but then they gave everyone all the medals that they would have needed for free, so that no one missed out on it.
Yeah, that's what they.
Oh, is that why we got those medals?
Yeah, what it used to be in the Japanese version with Kaba is if you farmed one of the medals, that was all you needed. So you could awaken it with one set of the medals, and then the game would crash, and then when you reopen the game, you would have the Dokkan Awakened Kaba already.
Okay.
So when they took that out, they gave everyone all of the medals to Dokkan Awaken him, since other people got to do it for free. And I was thinking maybe that would be the thing with the Gohan, but if they pulled the game down early, maybe they didn't know what the problem was, and when they found the problem, they were just like, this isn't going to happen. Just leave it.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I wonder if like, how long is it gonna take for them to actually fix it? Because if they just leave it unattended, that means every time the Ultimate Gohan event comes back, it's just a free, like, are we gonna do it where the next Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta comes back and then Ultimate Gohan comes back? It's like, no, it's still broke. Just if you got him,
Well, I
go
think
get
their
him.
announcement said that they're going to fix it for the next one.
Oh, then all right. Well, that's good.
Yeah. I guess for people who... I guess if you pull Gohan later, sorry, that sucks.
As
But,
as a person who had all three Ultimate Gohan in Japan, I'm actually extremely angry that Global now gets them for free. Because I had to freaking use STR Evil Boo. I had to use Murphy Boo. I had to use Inkalo or whatever his name is. the
Piccolo Boo.
I had to use all these crap boos, and now they just get to roll over him with Gogeta. I had to work for mine.
I rolled
Except-
over him with Gogeta in the Japanese version.
Well, obviously,
Dude, I
you
felt
were
so
doing better.
proud. I felt so proud the first night. I was like, oh man, I'm beating is easy. This is not that bad. And then everyone was like, oh no, it's bugged. I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Don't take this away from me.
It's a self-esteem killer.
Yeah. So, question: should I actually spend any time getting more medals? Because right now I only have 10 the Gohan medals, and I was going to use it for my agility Gohan. Should I spend more time getting more in case I pull the physical or the int type later?
I mean, the event will be back around, but I would take advantage of the glitch while you have it.
Okay.
Because the physical one's also, I mean, the physical one is a good in the Broly team in the future, and it's good overall in like a TUR build until Broly comes out. And the intelligence one will eventually be good, probably.
Hopefully.
We got to get there at some point.
Just wait for that int leader to come out, and then.
Yeah, then he'll be good. He's not really that good until then.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
he will be good.
One day.
Is he the only Dokkan Fest exclusive that's like has a noticeable issue compared to his non-exclusive versions?
Like, what do you mean?
Well, like, you know, we've done all the math, we've done it to death, we've got the leaders, and he's just the worst one. I guess
does Incel count?
Well, Incel's not the exclusive, Texcell is.
Oh, Texel is.
Yeah.
What about physical
Kid
Majin
Buu.
Buu? Yeah, Kid Buu.
Yeah, I guess Kid Buu. Yeah, he's worse. Well, is he worse now, though?
No.
Because Kid Buu's actually really good on Broly teams now.
It took Broly.
Yeah, but AGL is really good on AGL teams.
Not as good as the physical one is, though. I would argue the physical one you bring regardless on those teams. Whereas Kid Buu, I mean, you know, on the AGL teams, I'm not really too interested in him.
Super Saiyan 3 Goku has kind of gone down a bit.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we should talk about that when we get to the Japanese version. He's kind of now. He's kind of not that good anymore.
Yeah, in global, if you have him, use him and enjoy him while you can, because once Super Vegito comes out, some startling things end up happening.
Wait, what happens to him?
But the battles get longer.
Well, the fights are really long. Like, you notice that the Kaioken fight that you're doing right now is 4 phases, and it's super long.
Right.
Super Saiyan 3 Goku's passive wears
Oh,
off.
Right.
And
I
so
gotcha.
it wears off crazy early. So you're doing over 50% of these events now with a card that might as well be dead weight because it has no passive.
Gotcha.
You basically get
I-
3 attacks at full power.
I wouldn't even know about that because fights don't last that long. So that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, before this, it was never a problem because fights were super short.
Right.
It's,
I guess that's their way to defend against nuking.
I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think... Can you nuke, like, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks when he's in Super Saiyan 3? Like, I don't think he would even take enough damage from it, would he?
I don't think so.
No,
Because there's no Buu or Piccolo that can do it.
You'd have to
Well,
survive
Buu tanks.
long enough.
Oh, but he's not weak to Buu tanks, is he?
No. I
No,
don't
it's
think
just Piccolo and Super Buu.
Just Super Buu, right.
so. What a weird event.
Yeah. That event sucks, but well, we're past it. It's behind us. Let's not dwell on Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks anymore. That event was miserable.
What a sad.
So Global just got Gohan. So next for them should be Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's definitely going to be a banner that people are going to want to... I know we keep saying wait for Vegito forever, just don't do anything. But I feel like you should probably pull for Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta.
He helps a lot in that Vegito fight.
He helps a lot in most fights. I mean, he's having the same problem as Goku now, where he's starting to fall off.
Yeah, but at least he has like a stun. A 50%
Yeah, he has
chance
more than
stun.
damage.
Yeah. And it's not much, but it's enough to give him some help in the later stages.
Yeah, even when the passive falls off, he's still useful. Yeah.
And
So I would go for him for sure.
and soon Global ain't gonna have to need Broly no more. They can finally move on to the better AoEs.
That's right. You get to build world tournament teams that aren't full of shit like STR Bulma. You get to use real cards in the world tournament. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, with Majin, Vegeta, and Xenotrunks. Well,
When did
Xenotrunks,
Xenotrunks. He was only like a month later than Majin, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Like a month or two.
Yeah, by like a month or two, but still, it's good. Any excuse to not use that Broly in his slow ass super is a good thing.
Speaking of the slow ass super, that new animation that he has in the Japanese version is so good.
The one where he like
It's so much better.
bum rushes you.
Yeah, where instead of doing like the 48,000 weird like shin kicks, or he like shoulder tackles them. Oh, it's so much better. I don't know why they changed it, because it's still not really that fast compared to the other two. I thought that was why, but then it's still slower. So I don't know why they changed it, but it's so much better now.
Maybe because it's against the character to shin kick, and it's more believable for him to be tackling.
Yeah, well, artistic integrity is something that Bandai values very highly.
Super. That's why they keep giving all the cool Kamehamehas.
I'm sure that's probably the reason.
I really hope that we get new animations for cards in the future, but like I also am not putting my hope on it because it's just not going to happen. But I can't stand it when you get a new card and it's the same attack. At least for Goku Super Saiyan Blue, the Kaioken one, they slightly changed his attack and made it like bigger, basically.
Yeah,
But
well,
I can't stand it when they do that.
Isn't it just a recolor of Frieza's ending animation, though? I'm pretty sure it is.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Super Saiyan Blue AGL Goku didn't even get a better animation. He still has just the straight Kamehameha that ends with the explosion. It's terrible.
Animation's hard.
Well, it's weird because for Super Saiyan 3 Goku, they gave the STR1 Dragon Fist also. And then they stopped doing that. Like, all three Gohans all have different supers. The two Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas have different supers. All of the Dokkan Fest cards now, if they're old ones, they keep their old super. They don't get the super that the new one gets. So I wonder why they did that with the other ones.
I think it was to get rid of the Kamehameha Link skill.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's actually a good theory.
Yeah, because if you notice the card he has full because he has We Got a Power. And so he has one more Link skill.
Oh, so they needed to get rid of one.
They needed to get rid of one, so they had to get rid of the Kamehameha. That's usually what I think it is. Like if they change a super, it's literally just to get rid of something.
Well, they changed in cells though. I mean, it's just another Kamehameha, but they did give him the new animation.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I will say that actually, the physical Ultimate Gohan has both Kamehameha and Shin Pardon from God Force. So if you, for whatever reason, have a Kamehameha on one side, and anyone who has the Shin Pardon God thing, you would get pretty powerful, I would assume.
Well, I mean, Dokkan Super Vegito has both, too.
Yeah, but then they had to get rid of it for him. They couldn't be too good. You gotta give him the sword.
Let's see. So we're Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, then it's Beerus, which I vote skip on Beerus.
Yeah. And Goku is pretty cool though. But yeah.
The
I need
Super Saiyan God.
I need Beerus to get a comeback, if anything. It's kind of unfair that he's like the god of the universe, but he's like the least godliest card in the game.
Yeah,
kind of
of all
ironic,
the
actually, if you
gods,
ask me.
he's kind of underwhelming.
His turn
Yeah.
needs a rebirth.
That's what. Well, no. What I think that they should do, and this might be very debatable, is they should add a new strength Beerus that ends up being the next god card. He should be a strength mono leader.
I could see it, or they could just give him the int one, I guess. But yeah, he needs to be
Well,
good.
Int. I like because I read a post on the thread talking about how the next Int leader needs to be like Buhan or something, which makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I can see it. Here's hoping that Buhan is good, by the way.
Yeah,
Who tanks?
So I've actually slightly realized that every leader who has that skill has a very specific like link that they go with that goes with the entire thing. Like AGL has shocking speed. Physical has basically Super Saiyan and I think Ready for War because a lot of them. Strangely enough, Tech has the Innocence.
That's right, they do.
Tech has the
That's like-
Innocence. So
Not quite as good as the other links.
no, they're not. But hear me out. I think if we could somehow find the link that's common between all the ints and all the STR, we will find what the next.
Well, strength is over in a flash.
Yeah, so
Oh,
strength will have to be over in the Flash. I would.
yeah.
think.
Then we have guys like Strength, Godku, or Agility, SSB, KK,
Yeah.
and where they just had everything.
They just have everything that they can get.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what it would get.
There's a lot of ints with Brainiacs, so I'm going to call that it's Brainiacs. 300 attack, 1000 defense.
That would make sense for Buhan.
I'm calling it right now. That's going to be the one.
This will be the saddest prediction you've ever made if this is true.
Well, let's talk predictions. Remember in the last episode, those of you that were here, when I made a joke about how Global doesn't want their pace to catch up too much because they're going to end up doing back-to-back Dokkan Fests?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's slide into the Japanese version and talk about how now we're doing back-to-back Dokkan Fests.
Not even back to back, but during too.
Yeah, is Gotenks still on? I
No,
think
the
he's still
Go-
on,
Gotenks
right?
just
and-
left. He just left.
He
He
just
just ended today. Yeah, well, Goku's been out for like 3 days. So
God.
we went from Super Vegito and the Broly. So we had them both at the same time, which at least it was one banner, so that was forgivable enough. And then Gotenks came out. What was it? 2 weeks after that? I think it was about 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so not long enough to be a big deal, but a little short. And then they announced Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken literally in the middle of the Gotenks event. And he came out the day after they announced him. There was zero build-up, there was zero time to get ready, there was no downtime or like a story event to get even any like free-to-play stones in the middle there.
And they reduced the amount of stages in the event.
Yeah, there's not even
So
as many stages in the event as normal.
So even less stones.
It was like
Yeah, so there's only
no. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Continue. No, continue. Or I guess we'll both not go. I was gonna say. I was
Oh,
gonna
I
say.
said go ahead.
All right. I was gonna say it was like as if we were on a date with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and in the middle of the date, we got a text message from another girl that we wanted more. And then
That's
we just-
exactly what it was.
and then we dumped Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks immediately and went for.
Yeah, except I already took Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks out to like a 300 stone steak dinner.
And she didn't want to.
So,
She didn't want to kiss.
no, she didn't want to kiss afterward. And then I had this other girl that I wanted to go out with more, but I didn't have any money left after that other steak dinner. So I'm screwed on both fronts.
It's actually a really
So
good analogy.
So you went with the sister and said Super Saiyan Blue, normal.
Yes, that's what I. We had been friends for a long time because I pulled them a long time ago, so it just worked out better that way.
He's really grown up.
Yeah, that's the mature decision, I think.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect from this. It's so weird. The weirder thing was that everyone was expecting him to have the STR int, but thank God he didn't.
Yeah, let's touch on that real fast. Thank God he's not another mono leader on the heels of another one like that.
Well, a god mono leader. He is a mono leader.
Well, he's a mono leader, but you're not going to use it.
Yeah, unless you could try doing a hybrid with Vegito and him, but
Yeah, you can do that if you have like every over in a flash one, but then you're using like Kaioken, like the normal Kaioken, and is that really worth it? Because he's pretty bad, like in pretty much every way.
yeah, he's bad. But the more
And I mean, if you miss even one super,
yeah, and it's pretty hard to hit. It's not that it's hard to hit, but when you have a weirdly linked team with a double mono leader, it can be actually pretty hard to launch a super. Like that's always been the problem with my team until I got rid of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, was that I constantly needed to give him and Ninja Murasaki 6 key, otherwise they would never, like they would always end up like missing their supers.
right?
And it's frustrating, especially if you are used to a Gogeta team where you super at 1 key.
Mm-hmm. Every attack is a super, no matter what you do. Yeah.
You sneeze and you suddenly are supering with the character.
Yeah, it's a weird shift to try to go from having key to no key, and it might end up being a little bit better, but I value the consistency more than the peak at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think
But,
we're
like-
gonna get another Dokkan Festival in 2 weeks?
I
I
honestly
hope
wouldn't
to
be
God
surprised.
not.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised either, but God, I hope not. Like, we need a break, man.
We do. One of our mods, Jex, says that we definitely need a story event palette cleanser where it's like get some SRs and maybe an SSR, get some story zones, but just kind of relax for a week or two. Just like
Yeah, just take a break,
just
you know?
take a break, because even like if you play the game like as crazy as me, Zenrot, Everyone here, basically. I don't know why I just
Yeah, like
focused
why
on
you're
being
picking
on
out names.
That
Everyone here.
that was a dumb move. But basically, all of us, like, if you're playing the game in such a way that's like crazy and fast, and not the way you play a normal game, you just need to stop. Like, eventually, you can burn out.
Yeah, I was hard. The minute I saw that announcement, I was already like kind of over it. I was so mad. I was so mad. And knowing my luck, we're getting another Dokkan Fest in like 2 weeks, and it'll be Int Buhan, and he'll be the Int leader, and he'll be good. And then like a week after that, they're gonna announce Goku Black Dokkan Fest right in the middle.
Do you think Goku Black is going to be good?
He better be good. I mean, at least he's in a Saiyan body, right?
Yes,
Oh
that should
no!
be
You
enough.
know what it's going to be? They're probably going to release, and this might be a small spoiler, which it'll be fine. It's going to get revealed next week. They're probably going to release Goku Black, and his Dokkan Awakening form is going to be the Super Saiyan Rose bullshit.
I would be fine with that. I like the form. But I mean, if that gives him Super Saiyan and Ready for War, then I'm fine with it. And more power to him.
He could be pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's
Just a
in the
question-
best position for a villain.
The question
being
is,
a Saiyan.
is how useful will it be in a situation of when you compare him to the other cards they released recently? Because what they can't do is just drop him and then he'll be like mad average.
Yeah.
they can't. And I know you just got him, but they can't hit him.
They can't give him the hit treatment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of what I was pointing at. Because even though I was super excited about all the Dragon Ball Super cards that came out, 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
Yep.
they weren't that amazing compared to everything else. Especially now. Especially like they literally released those cards and they're rendered basically useless,
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
except for Goku, of course, because you got
Yeah.
the Dokkan Awakening.
No, because that physical Goku, which is
Well,
the only
the Goku from the last banner, yeah, he didn't.
which is the one I have, which I stare at every
sucks.
day and say, why aren't you like the other ones?
Wait, he didn't get the physical one. Didn't get one.
No, he didn't.
Nope.
It's this is a sore spot for me, but no, they didn't give him one. Why would
Funny.
you release the unit?
That's really funny, actually.
Which then I guess. Go ahead.
It kills my eventual dream of the Rainbow Super Saiyan God Dokkan Festival, where it's STR, Agile, Int, the crappy Fee Goku, and the new one that they released. Just 5 colors under the rainbow, all 77 medals, all extreme. This beautiful dream that I had crushed because now I know that the new ones aren't going to get a Dokkan Festival.
Well, it's funny that if they do Super Saiyan God, which there's a lot of Super Saiyan Gods, so I don't know if they're going to do it. But if they do one, the one that needs it the most right now is probably the Int one, just because Over in a Flash kind of fell off pretty hard.
Yeah. He has shocking speed, right?
Yeah, he has the same links as the Agility one.
The only problem is that he's not agility.
Exactly. Is that he's intelligence, which is a terrible color to be right now.
Yeah.
Or ever. Like 90% of the game's lifespan, that's a terrible color to be.
Yeah. There was a brief moment where tech fell down into arguably the worst, and now it's gotten a little bit of a raise up.
Yeah. But, I mean, I would argue that he probably wants it more than anyone else does, because his passive is HP conditional and none of the other ones are.
Yeah.
But if he's the most recent one and they don't do the most recent ones, he won't get it.
No, he won't. They'll pass him by.
I think if they do one, though, the one that will get ignored will be the STR one, because he already has 7 links and they're all already good. Except for, I guess, Warrior Gods, but whatever. I feel like if any of them get skipped, it'll be him.
It would be the smart move, because... But then, I don't know. They're in a weird position. Like, I don't know what's up with the future of Dokkan Battle, and it's oddly kind of... Well, Rhyme knows, because I assume he talked to them, and he knows stuff that we don't.
No, they actually, just to clarify, they didn't tell me anything that's happening in detail. All they literally said was, "Hey, we can't tell you, but it's cool stuff happening." And then, like, even when I talk to them, when they get emails, it's just they literally always specify, "Hey, just so you know, we can't tell you, like, we can't respond to this, but we can't say like thank you for the email." So it's like, oh well, I get it. You don't have to keep repeating yourself.
It's
But
cool.
the feedback is in. That's all I can really say.
So that's good.
Okay. Well, just to finish my point is that it's in a weird position, and there's a part of me that's like, that's cool that I don't know what's gonna go on, and then there's the other part of me that is scared that doesn't know what's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, they flipped the script on us in like no time at all.
Yeah.
So now I'm wondering, like, well, because people on Reddit were kind of talking about it, and they were kind of talking about how at some point they're gonna switch the focus of the game to TUR cards off of SSR cards, because now with Dokkan Fest being as prevalent as it is and the cards being as good as they are, no one really pulls in between anymore. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of the way it is right now. Everything's changed. Maybe it's just now settling in how much things have changed. Like we're in a weird era where Super Saiyan 3 Goku isn't as good as he used to be. Like, and I can't picture that in my mind because I remember him for 6 months on end being this incredible dragon punching man who would finish all my fights for me.
Dragon punching.
Yeah, well, punching with a dragon fist, whatever you call what the hell he does when he enlarges the screen. It's
Yeah, well, you know, and then it was in no time at all. You know, he went from probably the best agility card in the game ever since he came out for like half a year. And then within 2 weeks, he's hard to argue that you should even use.
yeah.
You know?
It's
Like, that's crazy to me.
It's like in order for all these guys to ascend, Super Saiyan 3 Goku had to be shot and killed.
The thing that's crazy to me is the fact that how irrelevant cards become. For example, I have probably one of the best teams in global that you can get right now, but if you compare my global team to like Japanese, it's a joke. So the thing that bugs me the most is the fact that all these cards that are a lot of people's favorites are just absolute trash. I was in denial for the first 2 weeks of Vegito being out. And Zenrot, you remember this. I was in denial. I was like, nah, Gogeta's my boy. Gogeta, I can't let go of Gogeta. And then I had to let go of him. I had to put him away, put him out of his misery. And that's the thing that bugged me the most.
No, I do remember I remember those tweets.
Yeah. So many fan favorites are going to be, like, put it this way, to those who are listening, your favorite cards right now in global, you will not use in 3 months, 4, 5, 6, 7 months from now.
Yeah, for the most part, that's true. I mean, arguably the type that has the best carryover is probably physical, because you're still using Gotenks, you're still using Saiyaman, you're still using the GT Goku, which global should be getting soon, I think.
Hopefully.
Because they're overdue for GT2, right?
Mm-hmm, they are.
I think GT is going to be the next big global event.
That would make sense,
like
because I think global got that Super Saiyan 2 Saiyaman and Trunks banner way early, like a month early.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're overdue for Goku, and all those physical, and like Frieza is still good. So all those cards are still good. Whereas with agility, you had Ultimate Gohan, the blue one, and you were kind of like, man, everyone hates this one. Everyone says mine's the shitty one, and now everyone wants him. And then, you know, you had Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and you felt all great about it, and now you're looking at him trying to justify using him at all. It's just so weird right now, and it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
I feel like every time an event comes out, everything changes now.
Yeah. Still one of the greatest in this, I guess I would say, new era of the current metagame is when I saw someone get salty over the fact that they bobbed their Ninja Murasaki. And it's like, that's the current game we're in. What a weird place we're in. What's next? Dracula Man? No, because we have there's no reason you need a Super Stealer in, I guess, SDR, but I guess you could use Boo Tanks.
Speaking of sad Baba stories, one of our friends, Jaden Tastic, he's another YouTuber. He Baba'd his Xeno Trunks a week before he got a Dokkan Awakening in Japan.
Oh,
First of all, I was like, who just throws those away? Well, everybody told me it sucked. I was like, yeah, but it doesn't mean you should throw it away. Like, we all have our Majubes and our Evil Boosts and our Tech Boosts just sitting there for possible rebirths in the future. Like, don't throw them away.
No, you cling to that and you pray.
Yes.
Pray to whatever deity you believe in that they're gonna get better.
Call it now. When Buhan happens, Tech Boo will get an awakening, and it's going to be godly.
I could see it. I mean, it's tech, so it's already good. I could see it.
Yeah.
50% HP get.
Well, my thing is, I'm hoping that Bootanks gets something out of that because he deserves better than he got. We talk about this like every time, but I'm so salty about Bootanks.
Yeah, that it almost was. You can almost make the conspiracy theory that Buhan will just be an SR if they follow.
He'll just be SR Buhan.
Yeah, SR, because all the absorbed Super Boos are SR. You got the Piccolo one, you got the Gotenks one, and then he's the only one that would be the outlier. But actually, you know what?
Oh my god, you're right.
Oh my god. I just came up with this in my mind. But it would actually make me happy, so happy, if the two SR that got turned into SSR were the Boo Tanks and the Boo Piccolo. Just because.
I hope so. Maybe not Boo Piccolo. Maybe not Boo Piccolo, but the others.
I'm the only one who wants the Boo Piccolo. This is the thought I want. Is that the idea of an SSR, hopefully good Boo Piccolo would make me happy.
Who was in the game for like one screen.
Yeah. God.
But like, okay, so we ran off course with Boo Piccolo there, and I forgot where we were.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. Oh yeah, we were talking about like the weird meta shift. So like, what do we do here now? Do we think that this is going to stabilize and this is going to be what it is from now on, or do we think that this is an outlier and they won't do this again, or like I legitimately have no idea how to plan for the future now in the Japanese version.
There's no way to predict it anymore, and I talked to them.
Yeah,
I talked to them and I have no idea what they're doing.
It just feels.
I will
so
say this though.
random.
I will say this, and this is like an exclusive. We did shove down our throats that we want Super Saiyan 4. We really shoved that down our throats.
Oh well, I'm sure they were already counting the money from Super Saiyan 4.
No, they weren't. They were not. They were not.
Really?
Yeah.
That
so
was not a priority
let
for them?
me tell you how everything works. And you guys probably already know how this works. Everything in Japan or everything that's released in Dokkan is Japan based, and then we kind of get the leftovers. We get the hand me downs. Japan does not like GT. They hate GT. Like GT is a joke to a lot of like Dragon Ball fans, but in Japan it's kind of like taboo essentially. And a good example is Xenoverse. Xenoverse had no plans of having GT characters originally. They were not going to do it. There was an interview that was done. They're like, yeah. Are you guys like the actual response was, "Are you guys serious? You guys like GT? That's funny." And then when they realized that fans actually love GT outside of Japan, they released them as characters. That's why in Xenoverse it only has a handful of GT characters, not everybody. So when we brought up that we love GT, it was again the same response, like, "Are you guys serious?" They're like, yeah, we love GT. Let me tell you something. We hate GT as a show. It was not good. I mean, it was okay. It was just poorly executed. But the characters are always going to be in our hearts. Like you can't deny that when Goku went Super Saiyan 4, that was not imprinted in your brains, in your hearts, because that was an amazing moment. We love the characters. We're just not fans of the series. With that said, give us the characters. So, which is ironic because shortly after that happened, they had that little quick teaser that showed off Great Ape, and they had Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which didn't really mean anything. Super Saiyan 4 is going to happen eventually. So keep an eye on that.
All right, that'll be an event for me to skip. I'm not a Super Saiyan 4 fan over here. But knowing me, the card that I want really bad, which was actually Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, I won't get. And then they'll release the STR and the Int mono leaders, and it's going to be Super Saiyan 4, Goku, and Vegeta. So I'm going to have to pull for them, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to do one multi and get both. And then you go to look at these characters that you don't like and go, I kind of...
You know what's funny with me? Every card that I didn't really want, I pulled. And my favorite one was, I remember, so what happened was I logged into Japanese Dokkan a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh, free stones. I'm going to just do a quick video. I don't play Japanese Dokkan. But Vegeto's out. Let's just see what happens. I have no standards. And the first thing that happens is I pull Vegeto on a single summon. I'm like, oh, well, I guess now I'm a Japanese Dokkan player. And any card that I actually wanted for the love of God, I cannot pull. I can't pull them. So I feel like in any banner you go into with that mentality, like, oh, I won't get it. That's when it always happens. That's when the magic moment always happens.
Yeah.
That's the secret. That's the secret right there.
It's what I always considered when I was a kid. I called it the Chansey effect, where if you went into the Safari Zone and wanted Chansey, you never found a Chansey. But if you never thought about Chansey at all, he would suddenly show up and then run away because that's the way the game was made. They didn't want you to have a Chansey.
It's actually funnier. I did a video a couple days ago where I was trying to pull. I think it was who was it? It was Gotenks. I was trying to pull Gotenks, and in the middle of the video, I'm like, you know what? We don't want Gotenks. Let's go for Tech Beerus instead, because the best way to do it is to do reverse psychology. And I swear to God, I'll send you the video. The second I said, let's go for Tech Beerus, I pulled him next. I'm like, God fucking damn it! Like,
the game
really
called you on your shit.
Yeah. This game, man. This
game called your bluff.
Gotta love the rando.
Alright, we're hitting about an hour and 10 minutes, so let's do one more topic. Let's talk about rates again, because everyone loves to talk about that. Jesus Christ, for both versions, they're terrible all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I mean, Global's a nightmare. Global was at like 4.8%, which is ungodly.
Yeah, poor Global. Just like as soon as we started like Modcast 1 going like, oh man, Global's on the up and up, and here we are 4 in going, what happened, Global? Did you have a relapse?
I have a theory. So the original rates back, let's say last October, used to be like 3%, and I remember one of my good friends spent a lot of money and only got like 2 SSRs, which is really, really painful. Those like the original rates. I remember when I first started playing, I used to have a horrible streak. I think I made like my first 15 videos on Dokkan and I didn't pull a single SSR. That's when I used to be like, oh my God, I'm so unlucky. And then all of a sudden I started getting lucky. That was where we came from. And then we jumped into where we are today, where the rates went up to like 7%, 8%, 9%. Japan was like at its happy 12% rate, 11%, 9%. And I feel like what happened was we were in this advanced rate era that when it went back to normal / average, that's when we were kind of like, what the fuck, man? So it's not that the rates are low. I think we were just so used to the higher rates. Now that we're in the lower ones, it affects us more. But essentially, this is kind of like the average. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I suppose. My thing is like, they advertised for a long time that the rate up would be permanent. Like Japan had that big announcement where it was like, we're no longer going to say that banners are 3 up because they're always going to be 3 up. And how we're consistently dropping below what 3 up would have been. Like, I think even right now, what is it? It's a flat, like, 6, I think, for Super Saiyan Blue.
I think.
Is it 6.5?
6.5, yeah.
Yeah, and then Global got their rate up banner over, I think, Christmas was, like, the only time it was ever advertised as, like, a rate up was Christmas. But then it never really fell anymore after that. It sort of kind of hovered at a consistent, like, 6. And now you're down under 5. That's crazy. To be as low as like 4%.
You're like
Somebody made a good theory that they increased the rates so they can compete with other gacha games, which makes sense. I mean, I as much as I love the Hunter x Hunter game, I hated the fact that game had the worst rate out of every game. It had like a 1% rate.
God.
Yeah, it was awful. Like you would go months without pulling a good card. But in that game's defense, you can pull a lower level card that evolves into a godly one. And I guess that's kind of how they balance it out. But Dokkan, compared to the other games, Dokkan is like a playground. It's like a walk in a park in terms of rates. I mean, it's still bad. You still have to spend a lot of stones to get cool cards. But I mean, again, it's part of the journey. Like you can't go in expecting to get SSRs every single pull. There are people out there who believe the game should have a 40% rate. And it's like, dude, if that happens, no one will play it. Like if you could pull every single card in the game, you wouldn't play it.
No,
the only problem with that is, go ahead.
No, I said they would have to fundamentally change how the game works if the rates were that high.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. The only problem with it is that in Dokkan, not only do any rarity below SSR not matter at all because they're all trash, but like 90% of the SSRs are also trash.
Yeah.
So like you need the top 20 to 30 cards, and otherwise who cares?
And then the other worst part was, like, if you have a lot of SSRs, you fall in the risk of getting the same SSRs
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm in a dupe slump really bad right now.
Yeah, I mean it's not that bad to get this same once over and over again. Like I was told, if you get dupes, just sell them to Baba. I was like, or I can just keep stacking them. I mean my Vegeta right now is 8, has 8 super attack.
Yeah, my physical Piccolo is 4 now.
The thing is though is like what Hunter x Hunter does amazingly well is like every card evolves. So they're as opposed to an SR, R, or an SSR, a UR system, they have stars, and like you can pull a card at like 3 stars and evolve to 6-star later. You can pull a 2-star evolve to 6-star later. You can, and then the other cool thing is when you get dupes in Hunter x Hunter, you unlock abilities, and each ability can greatly turn a god card into an even bigger god card later. And I love that system. They're introducing that in all the other gacha games now. Like the new Naruto games coming out in Global has that. I believe Bleach works like that too. Every other game has this advanced dupe system, and then all we have is, you can get what 10% more damage when you do your super attack.
I think it's 5%.
5%, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even better.
So I wouldn't mind if they I mean, they kind of started introducing that Kid Goku card a couple weeks ago, but it's like, well, if you get a super attack up to like 5, he has a different attack. If you get up to 10, he has a different attack. So I like that. But honestly, I feel like the dupe system should show somewhat change and make it actually feel worthy of getting a dupe, so you can like train into the card.
Yeah, I would love to see something like where if you get a dupe for a card, you unlock like an additional passive effect or something like that.
Yeah.
That would make it a little bit more fun and less soul crushing to get the same card over and over again.
I'd be happy.
You're super.
Like the dynamic when I do Hunter videos versus Dokkan is it's like I'm hoping for dupes in Hunter x Hunter videos. In Dokkan, I cry.
Yeah, there's just no advantage to it, like at all.
Yeah.
Currently working on, just because of how many dupes of this character I've gotten, of trying to have a full 6 Cell Juniors with SA10.
Rainbow Cell Juniors.
Yes, but they're all physical and I can't use them in the same team. And I currently have 2 at SA10. And others waiting in the wing. And every time I get it was basically the only way I could make myself happy from pulling a Cell Junior. Is I had to make my own little game with them.
That's fair. That's fair enough. It's better than what I do, which is just turn the game off and stop playing it for a few hours.
No, I like to extend my suffering. I like to turn that frown upside down.
So
hopefully that
is
new
there anything
dupe
else
system is good.
Yeah, well, they did say something about that, right?
Well, yeah, we still don't know what it's gonna be, but hopefully it's like those other gacha games that Rhyme mentioned, because that would actually be really cool. Because this is literally the only mobile game I play, so I don't know anything about what goes on in the other ones. And hearing about that system actually kind of makes me a little bit angry that Dokkan isn't like that.
Dude, yeah, it's honestly, it's kind of shitty. I'll say that. It's kind of shitty.
That's fair.
That's why I've always said that out of all the gacha games, I like the Hunter x Hunter game way better, just because it's more challenging, number one, and two, it have way more features built into it. Like the game's so complicated to learn. On top of that, it's Japan only, so which makes it a lot more hard to actually learn it. And but once you learn the basics, it's just so much more fun and better. And then you look at Dokkan, and you're like, oh, well, at least it's Dragon Ball characters.
It's got that. They got Bacterian.
That's pretty much my thought process with Dokkan. I'm like, oh, well, I like Goku, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Every time I want to get angry, and then I look at B-Pan, and I go, everything's going to be okay. And then I don't get her, and then I go, everything is shit.
In Dokkan's defense, though, problem with a game like Hunter x Hunter is this: I already beat the game, and what I mean by that is I got the God card in the game, and I got its abilities all maxed out. So I'm like, well, great, now I can beat any quest that pops up with just that one card, and it's just I don't want to play that game anymore. I just don't.
Yeah, I can see that getting boring really fast.
You reach the end game.
Yeah, it's awful. Also, a huge first world problem. It's like, oh, you pulled the best card in the game. Fuck you. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, the game's bad for you now? I'm sorry that you ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah, please tell everyone else how much it sucks having the best shit.
Guys, 2 Super Vegetos is so overrated. Let me just tell you right now.
Yeah, I should make a post on the forum right now that's like, I have a max attack Super Vegito, and I think that I'm just done with the game. I'm struggling too much with my Super Vegito.
Let's all go back to Gogeta. No, I'll go even further. Let's go to Ultimate Gohan, because he doesn't get the benefit.
I think if I started endorsing Gogeta now, no one would ever let me live it down. So
They don't let you live down Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta.
yeah, I noticed. I can't make a post without someone being like, "Remember when you said Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta wasn't that good?" It's like, I do.
You're not allowed to be wrong.
No. You gotta be like Penta.
Yeah,
and
I've noticed that
be-
too. I was like, "Damn, man."
You gotta be like Penta and be wrong at the moment, and then for in the future you to be actually right. Like with Agile Ultimate Gohan. When he said he was the best Ultimate Gohan. And now 6 months later, motherfucker was right.
Pull the Penta where you're completely wrong, but then the game vindicates you.
Bandai throws you a bone. Alright. I think we're...
Is there anything else that anyone wants to talk about while we're here?
I feel like we need to bring up D's nuts, but I think we can do that off recording.
That's fair.
Because I really... Like, you teased the beginning, like, I'll explain it when we get in, and I never knew the story, and it's been bugging me this entire time.
We'll talk about these nuts off camera.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's good.
All right, well then, Rhyme, for anyone listening that doesn't know you, where can they find your stuff?
Just Rhymestyle on YouTube. I yell a lot and play Dragon Ball games.
Sounds like what we do, but with more gameplay.
And with more teasing of Hamtaro on our side.
Yeah, there's a lot more Hamtaro talk on our side.
Yeah.
Oh
One
God,
day.
not a song stuck in my head again. It just got out of my head like 2 weeks ago, and now it's back in my head again. Thanks.
You're welcome. That's actually the reason I'm a mod.
Speaking of joke videos, God, that Overwatch thing you did got the most negative reaction I've ever seen.
Let's actually sign
Everyone
off
was
first.
so mad at you.
Let me sign off before we...
Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Rhymestyle, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And we will see you all next time.